live here at Edward T. Berry Ice Rink on the campus of UMass Boston for some New England Hockey Conference action featuring the Babson College Beavers and the UMass Boston Beacons. Good afternoon, everybody. Andrew Bluestein alongside my broadcast partner, Matt Meisenbacher. We thank you for joining us on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Well, Meisey, second half of a back-to-back. Beacons grab another win here last night over Southern Maine. And tough opponent, though, coming into tonight, this Babson team, number 12 in the nation. But Beacons, it seems as since, anyways, the holiday break, that they have found their game.
Yeah, they certainly have. And you take a look at their last 10 games, 7 wins, an overtime loss to Norwich, in overtime in Norwich. So this team has really turned the corner. I think for me, looking at what they've done last night, don't forget, Southern Maine, the record, if you take a look on paper, you're going to think that's an easy win for the Beacons, but they've played us hard traditionally for a very long time. They came in here last night and gave the Beacons a scare. It was a 3-2 game late in the third periods. Beacons kind of hung on for the W, and I think that's actually a good thing coming into this game. Had they rolled against Southern Maine last night, you might feel a little bit overconfident. I think the way they played last night, it was a good effort in total, close game, and I think that's going to translate here, specifically in the first period. This team's feeling good, but not overly good, overly confident to the point where it might be detrimental.
Well, for Babson, they've won 5 of their last 6 games. The Beacons have won 6 of their last 8 games. So 2 hot hockey teams coming into this afternoon as we take a look at our season stats between these 2 teams. Beacons coming in at 2.30 goals per game. That's gone up a little bit since the beginning of the season, which you like to see. Babson at 3.32. That is a strong showing from the Beavers. Goals against at 2.70 and 3 for Babson. That something perhaps that the Beacons could take advantage of, that 3 goals per game allowing Babson.
Well, and you take a look at the power play percentage too, right? 22%, which is about tops of the conference right now. So I think for me, the thing you might notice is the penalty kill for the Beacons is pretty strong as well. That could be the difference in this game, the special teams, and we say that a lot on the broadcast, but I think particularly tonight, this is a team, the Beacons traditionally have scored a lot more than 2.3 per game. This is not the offensive type of style that they played traditionally. They're more of a defensive type of team right now. I think they've got to manage their special teams as best as they possibly can and make sure when they get opportunities tonight, they've got to capitalize.
You mentioned the power play, Meisey, the special teams. Beacons, I believe, it was only 3 power play goals through their first 12 games or however many games it was, and they have gotten that total up now to 13, so the power play recently has been clicking as well. Well,
they've simplified things, and you watch it here tonight. The quarterback usually on the power play is Coleman. He's going to be out tonight. He's going to be a scratch. He got injured last night, a little bit of a back problem, so they're going to need somebody to step into that role. He's really someone who distributes the puck very well, and so they're going to need, I would think Ryan Bogan is probably going to see some minutes here tonight. She's pretty good offensively. They're going to try to find a way to navigate, because when you lose the quarterback of your power play, it really, everything else everyone else has to step up, and it really sets you up for a position where if you don't have that quarterback, everyone's scrambling.
Now let's take a look at the matchup to watch here this afternoon. Andrew Holland for the Beavers, 6 goals, 6 assists for 12 points at +2 on the season. And how about Mike Manzo? He's been red hot lately. That whole top line for the Beacons has been on fire. Manzo with 4 goals, 11 assists for 15 points at +9 coming into this matchup. And these 2 players are going to have a microscope on them here tonight.
Well, you take a look at Mike Manzo, and I think this is the freshman. To be a freshman and first-line center, it says a lot about his capabilities and his talent. Took a couple bad penalties last night, and a lot of frustration was in his game. It wasn't what we typically see, but he was still effective in the game. And I think tonight we're going to need a little bit more offense out of him. He played well in other structures of the game, but they need him to set up plays. And you can take a look at the assist count, 15 points. The goal totals will probably rise a little bit later as we turn the corner in the second half. You expect, I'd probably find around, maybe if he gets to 10, I'd be surprised, but I would expect him to be a point per player this season. And Andrew Holland, we highlight him. He's a senior. He's going to be a left wing on the 4th line here tonight, but you take a look at his career total, 76 games played, 40 points. For a 4th liner, that's high. So this is the type of player that can really come to this game. You expect those 4th lines to kind of grind minutes. He's the type of player that might be able to get you a goal or 2, and that can be the difference in a game.
Yeah, you mentioned that being their 4th line left wing just speaks to the depth that this Babson team has, and then being able to roll out 4 lines consistently. Let's take a look at the sneak peek ahead for the Beacons as January 21st, that is today, indoor track at Boston University Invite. That's going on all day long. Women's basketball at Eastern Connecticut. That is a 1 p.m. or that was a 1 p.m. tip-off. Men's basketball at Eastern Connecticut, 3 p.m. That game's underway. And women's ice hockey's at Salem State right now. That was a 3 p.m. puck drop. Let's take a look at the keys to the game here this afternoon. First, must win to move up in the standings. Mizey, we talked about that right off the bat. A lot of moving pieces right now in the New England Hockey Conference. Set the tone early and keep up strong goaltending, as one thing to note is that the Beacons have a relatively new, or pretty much brand new goaltender. It'll be his second start. Darius Bell, who transferred here, is getting the start here today in Babson. What do you look to see from him?
Well, first things first, I love this 90s graphic we got up here. Look at that. It's 1995 on the screen right now. But you mentioned the goaltender, Darius Bell, the transfer. So his story is basically this. He was a goaltender at Robert Morris Recruit there, which is a Division I program. The program folded. He transferred to Milwaukee State School of Engineering. Didn't realize I'm probably not going to be an engineer. Transfer portal, and now he's here. You're going to notice because he's got all red gear, hasn't been able to get the Beacons colors on yet. That's how little time he's been with this program, and it's going to be a true test here tonight. He's already got one game played, and he looked good. He only gave up one goal, but against this Babson team, he's going to be tested here tonight. I think this is his chance to earn some minutes. Sam Best has played very, very well, and he's got to be the starter, but if Bell can play well here tonight against Babson, you might have a goaltending battle the rest of the season.
Well, that'll wrap up our pre-game coverage. We got a good tilt here. New England Conference hockey action, Babson and UMass. We'll be right back after the national anthem.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field and on the starting block, we look at each other.
Let's take a look at this afternoon's starting goaltenders. First for the visiting Babson College Beavers, it'll be Nolan Hildebrand out of Pennington, British Columbia, coming in with a 10-2-2 record, a 1.76 goals against average, and a .939 save percentage. For the UMass Boston Beacons, it'll be Darius Bell making his second career start with the Beacons. The sophomore is out of Miami, Florida, coming in with a 1-0 record, a 1 even goals against average, and a .967 save percentage. Mizey, still a couple of seconds here before we drop the puck. How difficult is it for a goaltender to come into a team middle of the season and kind of just jump on a moving train like this?
That's a great question, and it's different for everybody. You know, my season, we had a goaltender, Zach. I was basically the 3. So Zach Andrews was the starter, and he was recruited by UNH, strong goaltender out of Florida, and we brought in a goaltender out of Vermont, Billy Faust, and they basically dueled it out for the rest of their career. Billy came in very confident, knew he was a strong goaltender, and just kind of assimilated his to the team slowly. It's always different. Depends on the personality of the goaltender. I don't know much about this Bell kid. I think he can learn a lot and learn a lot of points with his team here tonight with a good performance.
And the game is on. It'll be the first line for Babson up against the fourth line for the Beacons. Beacons control. That one sent in. No icing. Banks on the forecheck. Bankowskis up top for Browning, or rather Roland. That one sent in to the far side. Beavers control it. Reddington Kennedy tries to move it to the neutral zone. He can. But right there is Pat Keegan. Tried to play it ahead. Hits a body.
It's too many men.
Kennedy fires one. That one goes just wide on the blocker's side.
Beacons got away with it. Too many men on the ice there.
It was kind of an odd situation. It looked like Keegan had moved it up, but it bounced the other way as Roland, having some trouble with it, taking it out of his own end, now goes around to the far side. Getting there first is Will Holland, tries to chip it in. Goes right to Manzo in the middle. He hits Owen Bordeaux, he'll flip it in. Takes a funky bounce, chance for Clifton in front, and it goes wide. Now back the other way, Ian Driscoll plays it towards the middle. Krapinski steps up, gets it to the far side for Manzo. He'll take it in, loses it. And taking it around is James Perullo. Beavers controlling it now. Holland moving it up to Sam Siebold. He'll flip it in. Coming out to play it is Bell. And getting there first is Ryan Bogan. Plays it out to center. Brady Friedman enters the zone, working on the near side, throws one towards goal, goes wide. Evan Guggens tries to get the rebound, and the puck goes back to center. Guggens stays with it, takes it towards the middle. Guggens takes it in to the near side, tries to center it, as he was looking for the trailer there. Gaz Kristoff in the middle, and the puck still being battled for, goes towards behind the net, and that one's tripped up. As the Beavers look to exit, Wyatt George plays it in the middle. Chris Rooney on a odd man rush, or a lone man rush going towards the net. It gets pushed by Roland to the corner. That one comes up top. Bailey's shot. That one deflects in front as the netminder Bell may have got a piece of it. Luzio behind the net. He gets stapled. Coming out with it is Andy Walker. Trying to play it ahead. It got stalemated. Now chipped up to the blue line as Brady Friedman tries to chip it ahead. The Beacons will change. Sent back to the near side. Andrew Holland throws one in on Bell. He'll stick it to the corner. Now on the near side. Andrioli tried to keep it in. That one flipped back to center. No icing. As Cam Jocelyn was there first. He'll play it up on the near side for Holland. Now in the middle. Cam Jocelyn takes it down the near side. Tries to get it through. Nice drop though by Roland. That one thrown wide of the net. Now up top at the point. Holland throws it towards the net. Still loose in front. And that one's pushed out of harm's way by Alex Duncan. That one's sent behind the net. A chance on the far doorstep. And that one patted away by Bell. Babson controls. Up top. That shot from the point. Deflects in front. Goes wide. Andy Walker now with it. As the Beacons look to slow things down. That puck goes past Pat Keegan. He'll still get there. Nice move through the middle, and he'll just send it in, and the Beacons will get a change.
How about this pace to start the game? We're flying.
Carabelli intercepts that pass through the middle, but staying with it was Holland. That one chipped in as Kramer tried to play it ahead. Now back the other way comes Carabelli, bringing it in, pushes it behind the net into the corner. And he'll put a body on his man Holland in the corner as that one comes to the far side. Braden Kennedy plays it to the far side for Murphy. Flips one in and is sticked away by Darius Bell. Jacob Banks, who scored a goal yesterday against Southern Maine, plays it ahead. Stays with it. Wheels it trying to get it to Krapinski, but a nice play on the back check by Ryan Murphy. And Babson looks to slow things down. Now a stretch pass looking for Kennedy. Just exploded off his stick ahead of him. Stays with it. Heavy hit by Krapinski up against the boards. Manzo back the other way. A 3-on-2 potentially. Clifton in the middle. Will dump it in. Bordeaux gets there first. Leaves it for Clifton. Couldn't find it. Now back the other way. Up and down the ice we go here early on. That one thrown towards the net. Blockered away by Bell. And up and out of play. But you're right, Mizey. Quick pace early here.
That's a quick 5 minutes, huh? This feels like two teams that know they're in a rivalry. And I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with the way the Beacons have responded. We knew this Babson team was good, and they're going to be able to move the puck. But I'll tell you right now, the Beacons are right there with them.
Feels like we're watching a Hockey East game as that one sent to the corner. Getting there, Ryan Rowland gets stapled up against the boards by Max Torres. Pat Keegan with it. Goes D to Rowland. Rowland banks it off the boards for Bordeaux. Try to play it ahead for Manzo. Manzo stays with it. Manzo 2-on-1 has Clifton. Gets it to him, a shot. And a great save by Hildebrand.
Oh.
And the net comes off. A collision as Hildebrand goes hard to the ice, and we have a penalty. And I believe it is going to be Owen Bordeaux going off for goaltender interference. So the Beacons will be shorthanded.
Well, I'll tell you what, a nice little 2-on-1 there from the Beacons. You're exactly right. They're going to get called on a penalty. But that was a nice little play. Quick shot by Clifton, and he scored last night. He's feeling good right now. Tried to go blocker side high, and Hildebrand was able to get that up in a hurry to make that stop. That's a tough test this early in a hockey game. Good save.
So power play unit out there. Egan Schmidt on the faceoff. Brennan Kennedy, Thomas Kramer out there. Beacons win it. Bankowskis had speed, but the puck will slow down. Left off by Colby Bailey. Now Nolan Dion. Hitting Kramer, he'll enter. Gets it to Kennedy. Kennedy loses it but gets it back. Now up top for Dion. Gets it over for Bailey. Down low. Back up top for Bailey. Back over to Dion. D to Bailey. His shot towards the net. And a pad save there by Bell. And that one back the other way. Here's Bankowskis. Cuts to the middle. Stays with it. Coyle Bankowskis. Nice job there.
Yeah, great play.
Killing some time off the penalty as Pat Keegan rims that one, goes as far as the blue line for the Beavers, and Keegan gets it again, and he'll hammer that one off the glass all the way down the river.
Already a minute gone in this power play. You got to like what you see from the Beacons right now, making it tough on Babson just to enter the zone.
Entering is Wyatt George now. He'll pull up and send it down low for Ian Driscoll. Now it's being battled for in the near corner. Beavers come out with it, but Pat Keegan able to stick it in front. Andy Walker now looking to exit. Walker will flip it off glass. Down to 40 seconds now on the Babson power play. Beacon's doing a good job so far on the PK. That one through the middle. Ryan Murphy, big collision with Krapinski as he enters the zone. Puck tied up on the near corner. Flip back behind the net. Driscoll with it. Gets it up top. Now towards the middle. Perillo throws it cross ice. Saved by Bell, and he'll cover the rebound for a whistle.
You know, that's a great play by Babson. And that was 3 passes connected quickly, tape to tape. And the one thing I've noticed early on with Bell, he moves great in the crease. I mean, he can skate. And you're going to see laterally, he's very quick. And he made that save just based on pure athleticism, able to get across laterally, not just make the save, but no rebound. Oftentimes when a goaltender's coming across like that, there's a rebound to be had. Not that time.
Babson able to keep it up. Final 10 seconds approaching of their power play. Played down low. Schmidt, that one's disrupted. Krapinski, big hit up against the boards. He sits down Torres. That'll do it for the Babson power play. The Beacons have killed it off. Carabelli to Krapinski. Carabelli taking it through center ice. Tries to hit Bankowskis through the middle, gives it away. As Babson looks to break out up ice. Here's Torres down the far wing. throws it towards goal on a nice glove save. Darius Bell has been sharp here early.
Yeah, I like what I see there. I like the kill from the Beacons and really stayed structured. Did not get out of place. I didn't see much on that penalty kill where anyone was out of where they were supposed to be. You got to like that if you're Coach Blyle here. You got tested early on in this first period, and you withstood the onslaught. Really, Babson made a couple plays there on that power play, and nothing to show for it.
Davis Browning plays it for Grady Friedman, who'll flip it ahead. Getting there first is Jazz Kristoff. He'll get it up top. Browning throws it towards goal. Friedman, another chance. Oh, what a save by Hildebrand.
Just got it. I think with the elbow. I think he missed it with the glove. He got it with the elbow and was able to squeeze it enough where it didn't trickle through. But a great shot.
I believe they call that the 6-hole.
Correct.
As a stalemate off the draw. Beacons control. Friedman for Browning. That point. That one sticked away by Hildebrand. Both netminders sharp early in a very fast-moving hockey game. That one played through the middle. Deluzier had some trouble with it as goes behind the net. Deluzio loses it again as Jocelyn picks his pocket. Tied up against the boards. Evan Guggens jumped there. Kristoff tried to chip it ahead. Kept in at the line. Deluzio behind the net, looking up ice. Switches with Guggens. Guggens leaves it for him. Chipped up for Alex Duncan. He'll send it in as Hildebrand will chip it for his defenseman, Gray Owens. Quick up pass, missing the stick there of Andrew Holland. Beacons momentarily control, and a big hit by Pat Keegan on the far side of the ice, sitting down Thomas Kramer.
He's known for that, and they're going to need more of that here tonight.
Forecheck. Oh, they called icing there. Looked like Duncan could have easily got there first.
Yeah, I don't know about that call. Yeah, icing, yeah. Not going to give that to the Beacons? I don't know.
It looked like the puck was dumped in past the red line as well.
I thought so too, but even that, I thought Duncan had him beat on top of it. So tough. That's a tough call there.
The face-off will be to the right of Darius Bell. Thomas Kramer and Andy Walker will do it as Walker wins the face-off, but it's chipped down low. Babson controls. Tied up in the corner now. Team's digging away as the Beavers look to come out with it. As that one chipped out by Keegan, but able to keep it in at the line was Charlie Andrioli. Now it's being battled for in the neutral zone. Alex Duncan tries to wheel it in, doesn't get much on it, and it goes right to Colby Bailey. Bailey with speed out of his own end. Looks to take it through center ice. Trying to hit it to Murphy on the wing, but too far ahead of him, and this will be an icing, and this faceoff will be back in the Babson end.
Yeah, taking a look at what Coach Blyle, and I think he's moved the lines a little bit here tonight already. I'm noticing, and no, he put him back. So, oh no, Bordeaux, that's Bordeaux, yeah. So he's taken Friedman off that top line and moved Bordeaux up. So Manzo and Clifton, last night it was Clifton, Manzo, and Friedman. Tonight it's Clifton, Manzo, and Bordeaux.
Krapinski off the draw, throws it towards goal, doesn't get through. Back the other way, the Beavers trying to break out. Good disruption in the neutral zone by UMass. Bell leaves it off for Krapinski. Krapinski was looking for Manzo on the wing, but he finds Clifton as Manzo tries to chip it through for Bordeaux, who is going alone to the net. And a good defensive play there by the Beavers as that one's chipped in. And now tied up behind the net. Ryan Bogan trying to move it ahead for Clifton. Couldn't find the puck in his skates, and it's sent right back in behind the net. Krapinski will send it to the near side. Right there, though, is Driscoll. Throws it to the point. A deflection in front will go up and out of play. 10:29 to go. Opening period. Still no score.
And I don't think the pace has dissipated at all. I mean, since puck drop, we've really been up and down the ice. Moving, and the one thing, I think that whoever controls the neutral zone, right? Because both teams are moving through it pretty quickly right now. So if you can gain that extra zone and have two, you've got a big advantage right now.
Beacons control the draw, goes into the corner as Browning was pinned up against the boards. Now Banks with it. Jacob Banks, past center ice, will chip it in. That puck will go around the kick blade behind the net. Getting there first is Holland. He'll try to play it up as Bankowskis got in the way of that, but a relentless job by Babson. That looked like it was offsides, but the puck goes back to center. D to D. That one takes a funky bounce as Egan Schmidt leaving it off. That one blocked by Deluzio as he'll try to play it up for Carabelli. He'll chip it and that was behind the red line, so it'll be another icing and face-off back in the UMass zone.
Kind of a feeling out process for these teams as well, right? 0-0. Both teams have had some opportunities, and you're kind of feeling as though it's going to take, I'm looking here, yeah, Beacon's trying to sneak a change there. I like that. Anytime there's an icing, right, you try to maybe sneak at least one guy out there, get somebody fresh. Referees are usually on top of it, but I've seen it happen.
Jocelyn and Bankowskis. Jocelyn wins it. And a nice play there by Carabelli, chipping it past center. Jacob Banks, a chance. And a nice play there. Canceling him out was Dion. That one throw it towards the goal. Banks, rebound, they score! I believe it was Jazz Kristoff who finished it off. It was either him or Ty Matthews, and it was Kristoff. I couldn't see if it was an 8 or a 6 next to the 2, but the Beacons strike first.
Well, one of the things Coach Bile always talks about is get the goalies off their pad. When you got a good goaltender, try to get it off their pad, make them control the rebound. You can see it there. Hildebrand tried his best to get that into the corner. He wasn't able to do it. And Kristoff driving that far post, and you learn that from an early age, Pee-wee and on. Drive that far post, see if you can get a rebound. Sure enough, it was there. He was able to bury, and the Beacons got a 1-0 lead.
So the freshman out of Santa Clara, California, gets his 4th of the season. That's a huge goal. As back the other way comes Babson. That one chipped towards the middle as Thomas Kramer was going hard to the net. And a good job there by Rowland tying him up. As that one's loose, chipped towards the circle. Guggens with speed, gets it out. Guggens takes it through center ice, now enters. His shot goes just wide on the glove side of Hildebrand.
What a rip. That made the red line off the glass. He got everything on that, just missed.
And Guggens has one heck of a shot, which we've seen on display here many times this season. That one chipped up by Duncan. Oh, making a change there was Babson.
Smart play.
As Babson looks to move it up. Thomas Kramer gives it away. Andy Walker looking for Duncan, who tried to chip it in, and that goes off the skate of Max Torres. And that'll go behind the net as Will Holland's there to collect. Plays it on the near side for Sam Siebold. Ryan Bogan plays it back the other way. Bogan gets it again. Duncan will send it in around the kick blade. The Beacons will make a change. As Babson up ice. That one flipped. Cross corner goes around as comes back to center. Nice move there by Nolan Dion, shielding the puck. He'll send it in. Kropinski collects it in the near corner. He'll play to the neutral zone for Owen Bordeaux. Bordeaux chips it behind the net. Hildebrand out to play it. He'll play it to the near side, thrown towards the middle as the Beacons control. Clifton wheels towards goal, hits a body, and collecting it was Nolan Dion back to center. Now Babson enters, but nice play on the back check by Bordeaux, and Beacons collect the puck. Clifton flips it for DeLuzio. On the far side, DeLuzio will skate it in, now flips it behind the net off the backboards. Controlling it is Chris Rooney. And that is not the NHL official who a lot of hockey fans are accustomed to the name of. It's a different Chris Rooney. As Coyle Bankowskis now has it in the neutral zone. That one flipped in behind the net. Carabelli as Will Holland gets there first. Bankowskis swoops in. He wins the puck. Takes it to the front. Loose in front. Carabelli backhands it just wide. Towards the near post. Banks stays with it. Carabelli. Great job by the fourth line. Carabelli cuts to the middle. Puck deflects in the air. Banks comes out with it. Gets it to Rowland. Rowland plays it behind the net. Carabelli there. He stays with it. Flips it to Pat Keegan on the far side. Keegan, the puck bounced over his stick. Back to center. Carabelli to collect.
You mentioned a great shift by this line here. Now they got to find a way to change, though. That was heavy minutes.
Pat Keegan looking up ice, trying to hit Bankowskis, just missed him, and that will be an icing.
I was worried about that. You get a hard shift in the offensive zone, and they were really on top of it. They looked like they were close to getting a scoring opportunity. Now you take an icing. These guys are tired. Believe me, they're winded right now. So you got to. This is a very important draw here. Great opportunity for Babson. You got some tired fourth liners on the ice right now. 6:35 in the period, and a big win. Bankowskis with a nice draw there.
Big face-off win. Beacons need to get it out. As you just saw the replay in that last whistle of the Beacons' first goal. Great play by Jacob Banks to get the puck to the front of the net for Kristoff. As that one's sent back down, no icing, and this puck goes to the far side for Cormier. Cormier stays with it, throws it towards the middle of the net, and that one whacked back to center and all the way back to the Babson end. As getting there is Andrioli to collect. He'll shovel it for Bailey. Moves it up for Cormier. Now Holland, he'll bring it in. Holland to the outside. Krapinski riding him to the end boards. As now Kristoff has it on the far side. He'll play it to the near side for Friedman. Friedman waits in the middle. Friedman cross corner dump in and a big hit there. Friedman had the brunt end of that. Andrew Holland finishing his check. And Friedman a little slow to get up.
They don't hit like that in junior.
As Ryan Bogan now with it, has it on the far side, flips it cross ice towards the middle. Knocked down by Holland. As Perullo now with it. Plays it to the neutral zone. Krapinski doing a nice job there. Another big hit, Ty Matthews this time. And they're going to get him for a penalty.
No. What's the call? I don't know. I did not see much.
Maybe a cross check. The only thing I can think of, and that's what it is.
Oh, man, I don't know. What do you think? I didn't see much there.
I thought it was one of those plays where you see a guy, he has both hands on the stick, but it's more of a push rather than...
I thought the same. He's just getting the guy into the wall. That's different than a cross check. Tough call. Good opportunity here for Babson.
Second power play for the Beavers. That one up top, blocked by Carabelli, and that one stung him.
Yeah, right off the wrist.
Up top is Bailey. He'll throw it towards goal. That one deflects wide. That one reversed behind the net by Kennedy. Now he gets it on the near side. Kennedy throws it towards the middle, hits a stick. That one flipped back to center by Browning. Beacons change. Bankowskis with speed. Nice job to get there first. Stays with it.
Boy, he can fly, can he?
He has been awesome on the PK all season and tries a wraparound there, but Hildebrand was square against his post.
Absolutely love that. Beats out the two players on Babson, able to get a shot on goal, and then goes right for a change.
Under 5 minutes to go in this first period. A deflection towards the middle by Kennedy. Doesn't get through. Pat Keegan tied up on the end boards. It's a rugby scrum back there. Players digging away. Comes out loose. That one played ahead by Rowland. And that'll go back to center. Bailey being pressured by Andy Walker. Nice job by the Beacons penalty killers again, as now under 50 seconds on the Babson power play. To the near side. That one flips up and out of play on the shot attempt.
All right, so one of the things, alumni weekend, I got to mention it for the guys, the alumni that are listening. We talked about it after we played earlier in the day, 10 o'clock puck drop. Andrew Crawford, who notoriously loves the training room, loves Ed Perkins, who's our top trainer. I saw him over there talking to him. He was and mentioned his hamstring. I think Andrew Crawford is in the training room right now getting some work done. Can you believe it? An alumni, he's about 10 years removed, asking the trainer if he can get some work done. That's how hard we went this morning. You got to love it.
At the end of the day, hockey is hockey, and your body responds the same way no matter what level.
I don't know, 10 years removed getting work done by the training staff. You don't see that too often.
Puck work down low. The Beavers look to tie it. That shot teed up from the point goes wide, as that was Holland stepping into it. Now behind the net. Wheel to the far side. Final 10 seconds. Holland on the near side to Perullo. He throws it towards goal. Blocked by Bogan. That one sent back to center by Bankowskis. The Beacons have killed it off. They're 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. That was
tremendous work.
Close to offside. Krapinski, the defenseman leading the rush. Tries to slip it through for Clifton. Clifton able to get there. Now to Bordeaux. Bordeaux has room. Cuts to the backhand. And he couldn't stay with it. Had a chance to shoot. It's now back the other way. That shot on net and a save by Darius Bell on the chance by Perullo.
It's one of those with Bordeaux. You got to let that fly. You try to make one move too many. You're already in the slot, and I know what he's trying to do. Get to the backhand. He's going to be have a little bit better angle maybe on the goaltender. But when you're in the slot in a game like this, you got to let that puck fly.
2:50 to go in the opening period. It's been a heck of a hockey game so far. Very fast-paced as the Beacons control the faceoff. Browning plays it to the near side. Bordeaux chips it out to center. That one back to the middle. Bordeaux gets the loose puck. He'll backhand it in. As getting there first is Andrioli. Beacons steal it though. Clifton had it, lost it. Now it's tied up against the near side corner boards. Manzo coming in as the Beacons doing a real strong job on the forecheck as that one's played back to center. As Holland leads it off. A shot. Saved
save
by Bell. Big rebound. Back the other way. Bordeaux will flip it ahead. As Ryan Rowland, the defenseman, joining the play. Evan Guggen's back covering for him. Puck tied up. Babson comes out with it. Kristoff trying to pursue his man. That's Cam Jocelyn on the far side. Kristoff able to dig out the loose puck, but it was back to center. Rowland able to find it, and he'll flip it in as the Beacons defense will change. Grady Friedman tries to get it through for Kristoff. Friedman found the loose puck in the neutral zone. Good puck pursue there by the Beacons winger. He has it. Friedman waits, tries to get it to the net. Guggens was there, but a little late. Now back the other way. Here comes Babson. Wyatt George enters the zone. Had Schmidt towards the middle. George leaves it off. As Nolan Woodenberg, the defenseman, chips it in, but it goes right to Michael Krapinski. Now Grady Friedman will just flip it in, and UMass will get a full change as we approach the final minute of this opening period. Near side, Nolan Dion. Chip to the far side for George. Moving it ahead for Rooney. Rooney to the outside, working against Deluzio. Rooney stays with it. Good puck protection. Will head to the corner. Now flips it up top for Perullo. D to D for Holland. Now down low. As Babson looking to set up shop. Now through in the middle. A nice pass. That one deflects just wide. Another shot thrown towards the front of the net. Deflects, and Ty Matthews comes out with it. Plays it ahead for Duncan, a little bit too far as that one's chipped up and out of play. And a whistle as we have 30 seconds to go in this first period.
30 seconds here. If you're the Beacons, you got to make sure you get 1-0 to the locker room, right? You got 30 seconds. Cannot give up any scoring opportunities whatsoever right now. Just make sure it's all defense at this point. If anything, get to the red line, get it deep, especially on a draw on their side of the red line. So this is perfect. They should be able to kill some clock here.
Pat Keegan playing it ahead. That one chipped off the glass in the neutral zone. Coming out with it is Kennedy to the near side, working against Carabelli. Kennedy centers it, and it didn't get all the way through. And I believe it was Keegan who got a stick on it. Final 10 of the first period. Jacob Banks reverses it for Carabelli. Carabelli smartly will tie it up against the boards as the time ticking off, and that will do it for the first period. So as you said, Mizey, important to go to the room with a 1-0 lead, and that's what the Beacons will do.
Yeah, you got to be happy if you're the Beacons. You get one, you're able to capitalize on an opportunity. One thing to note, I did notice Corey Clifton went to the room a little bit early. Hopefully that's an equipment issue and not necessarily an injury, but something to take note of. We'll have to watch that in the second period. I think if you're UMass, you got to be pretty happy, pretty confident, right? This is a Babson team that's nationally ranked on the top quarter of the conference, and you got a 1-0 lead after the first period. Got to feel good about that. Your goaltender came up with some big saves. I think Babson will make some adjustments. They've been known to do that. They'll tweak some things, the structure, maybe tweak the lines a little bit. Overall, a good period for both teams, but Beacons got the 1-0 lead.
Well, we're going to catch our breath for a moment.
You especially.
Yeah.
That was 90% you. You got as much action as the players that period.
Well, it was a very fast-paced first period. I said at some point that it felt like we were watching a Hockey East game.
It did.
But we'll head to the room. We'll be back to go over our first period scoring summary and game stats. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher here with you on this Saturday afternoon. We'll be back on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. and it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, and I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
And welcome back here inside Edward T. Berry Ice Rink. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher here with you on the Beacons Broadcast Network. As the Beacons leading Babson 1-0 after one, as we take a look at the first period scoring summary. Just one goal from Jazz Kristoff, getting his 4th goal of the season from the freshman, and the lone assist coming from Jacob Banks. And that's where we stand right now. Now let's take a peek at our game stats through one period. Babson has the advantage in the shot department, 9-5. 9 saves from Darius Bell in that first period. Faceoffs even, and Babson has the 2 power plays. But Mizey, what did you like? You touched on it a little bit, but what did you like from Darius Bell in that first period?
I'm impressed with the way he moves. I think he moves laterally as good as I've seen at this level, and a lot of the saves he made in that period, he's able to get to his angle quickly. And for any goaltender, right, anyone will tell you it's all about the angles, but it's how quickly you get to those angles. And I think the thing that I like, he's moving laterally very, very well, and he's able to corral the puck. I didn't see many rebounds, right? One shot, and he's got it. And so that's huge for me. I think this is a huge opportunity for him, like we talked about in the pregame, to earn some minutes here in the second half. Got to like what you saw in the first 20.
Yeah, I had to deal with a lot of traffic in front of the net as well. But you touched on it in the middle of the broadcast, was recruited to play Division I at Robert Morris. Program fell through, played a year at Milwaukee School of Engineering, but you can clearly see the Division I level talent.
They just move differently, and he's not the biggest goaltender. He's about the same size as Sam Best. They're just two different. The way they play the game is a little bit different. Sam Best looks bigger than he actually is, and the way he plays the game, he takes up so much of the crease. Bell seems to move just fluidly through that blue paint, and it's working for him here tonight. I think the other thing that stood out to me is the Beacons aren't scared to get beat. And sometimes when this team is a little bit timid, in the way that they structure themselves, they play too passively. And they're so worried about getting beat that they get beat. Here tonight, I'm not seeing that. They are attacking Babson. They're meeting them physically. And again, what I saw last night with the forecheck hasn't been as strong, as confident, but it's enough where I think that they're doing well and they're disrupting enough. Babson's having a tough time. Watch for the intermission adjustment, but like what I saw in the first period in terms of the way the Beacons are attacking.
Well, right now the Beacons staying right with the number 12 ranked team in the country as they lead Babson 1-0 at the end of one period. That'll wrap up our intermission coverage, and we'll be back. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher here with you on the Beacons Broadcast Network. We'll be back for second period action shortly.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact, not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just a starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like a place that people want to go.
What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands out to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
And welcome back here inside Edward T. Berry Ice Rink. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher with you as UMass Boston leading Babson 1-0 after one period. We're just about to get set for second period action. Meise, you talked about the adjustments to look out for from Babson. So what should UMass expect going into the second period?
They'll throw different looks at you. So, and on top of the way that they structure their line, so if the coaching staff saw something that they like better than others, they'll make that adjustment. Every coaching staff will do that. But I think the thing that Babson will do that UMass doesn't quite do as much is make structural, and the way that they forecheck, the way they attack the neutral zone, the way they defend, they can throw a lot of different looks at you. So it's only 1-0. You might not see anything major here, but I'm going to look for the next 5 minutes to see if maybe something a little bit different than what they did in the first.
And we're underway for second period action. It was very fast-paced hockey in the first. We'll see if that continues here in the second as Pat Keegan shot from the point. That's sticked away by Hildebrand. Now goes to the far side. Puck bounces. Bankowskis tries to chip it ahead. Banks had it, tried to wheel it towards the goal, but he was knocked off the play there by Bailey. Now back the other way. Here comes Kramer. Keegan working against him and steps in front of him. The puck goes behind the net. Big hit by Keegan behind the net. Puck comes up top. That shot tipped down low just wide of the net by Kennedy. It looked like Holland fanned on the initial shot as that one comes in front. As Keegan tries to headman it to the neutral zone, he does, and he will send it in behind the net. That one sticked away by Hildebrand.
Yeah, I think Holland just missed the goal there. Kennedy, rather.
As that puck goes to the far side, getting there first is Will Holland. Will Holland stays with it. It's Kennedy. Now goes to the far side for Siebold. Siebold throws one towards goal. That one sticked up and out of play by Darius Bell.
Curious to see if the intensity we saw in the first period as well. We talked about the structural changes, but is the intensity in the first period going to be the same as what we saw I'm not so sure. I would expect these teams to maybe dial it back a little bit. It's a 1-0 game, right? Could go either way. Expect these teams maybe to turn the pace down just a tad.
Driscoll wins the faceoff. First shot attempt there by Torres, and he gets another one. That one goes wide. Puck goes behind the net. Krapinski gets it for Ryan Bogan. Clifton backhands it off a skate, goes back to center in the middle. Almost a breakaway chance there for Manzo. As now Clifton splits the D, and the puck got away from him, but Bordeaux swoops in to get it, and then he loses it as Ian Driscoll picks his pocket. Puck thrown towards the crease. Babson having a tough time momentarily getting it out. Now they do. Breakaway opportunity for Driscoll, leaving it off. That shot goes just wide by Siebold. Now a chance in front, and that one's tipped away by Bogan. That one thrown towards the goal, and a save by Darius Bell, who looked so nonchalant in gloving that one.
Big save. Big stop there. And a nice little play by Babson, right? A quick cross-ice pass. They missed the net. They're able to regroup and get another attempt. And it looked like Siebold got a pretty good velocity on that shot. Bell didn't get it cleanly in the glove, but he was able to corral it into his chest and get the whistle.
Rooney and Guggens on the draw. Guggens wins it. That one flipped up by Grady Friedman, looking for Kristoff. He'll ship it in behind the net. Swooping in is Colby Bailey as Babson looks to break out the other way. They enter, but offside as it looked like Rooney a step ahead of the play. 17:53 to go, second period.
Couple whistles for you here early.
Yeah.
After that first period, man. The lungs are going to be tested here tonight for you. Or the throat, I don't know. You're going to need a lot of vocabulary, I think, for this one.
As UMass will control. Guggens chips it ahead for Kristoff, rather. He'll wheel it in. Getting there first is Charlie Andrioli. That one flipped up through the middle by Bailey as Kristoff couldn't handle it. As UMass regroups, DeLuzio playing it for Guggens. Guggens will backhand it in. Puck goes behind the net. Andrioli there first. He'll leave it off for his defense partner, Bailey. Bailey looking up ice. Hits his man Schmidt. Egan Schmidt will enter the zone. Leaves it for Rooney out there on a long shift as that one's tied up against the boards. Still battling for it as puck trying to get dug out there as the Beavers will chip it out as it stays on the near side half wall. Ty Matthews finds it. He'll bring it back to center. He'll backhand it, and he'll chip and chase as Alex Duncan gets there first behind the net. He'll turn back. Duncan tries to get it to the front of the net, wheels it there, and that one's sticked aside by Hildebrand. That one's tied up on the far side. Andy Walker doing a nice job, able to win it. Alex Duncan now with it. That one deflects up high in the air. Puck's still loose, and it comes back to center as Ryan Rowland will step into that one as it goes back in behind the Babson net. UMass will change. As now Babson looking to break out again, having trouble with that one was Egan Schmidt, but he's able to chip it in as Darius Bell out to play it. Now Banks chips it up, but not out, and that one goes just wide. As now UMass back the other way. Carabelli through center ice, brings it in, leaving it off for Banks, who steps into one. That one goes just wide off the glove of Hildebrand.
Carabelli took a big hit on top of it.
Cam Jocelyn will headman it through and chips it behind the net, stays with it. Wraparound attempt as that one rolled off the stick of Matt Cormier. Here's Corey Clifton now. He'll enter the offensive zone. His shot gets blocked into the skates of Nolan Dion as UMass looks to stay with it. Clifton couldn't keep it in. That one chipped back in by Bankauskas as Clifton will head off for a change, as does Bankauskas.
Yeah, he's been around the puck tonight, Corey Clifton, and he's going to log a lot of minutes here tonight, I can guarantee you that.
Nice play by Manzo as Bordeaux tried to get there. That one flipped back in, though, by Cormier. Krapinski there first. He'll wheel it over for Bogan. Back to Krapinski. Tries to hit Manzo on the breakout. Manzo able to find it off of the deflection. Manzo, nice move. Manzo through center, loses the puck, but gets it back. And that one goes onto the stick of Andrioli. Back in to the UMass zone. Ryan Bogan has it behind his own net. Tries to play it for Bordeaux, gives it away. Kennedy now tries to shovel it in front, and UMass catching a break because Ryan Murphy didn't have a stick. Back the other way, Owen Bordeaux tries to stay with it. Nice job by Andrioli. Bordeaux still pressure on the forecheck as the puck comes back to the neutral zone. Now back into the Babson end, but Bailey has it. He'll play it through the middle. Thomas Kramer gets it to Murphy on the wing. That shot goes just wide on the glove side. Bell back the other way. Once again, up and down we go here. Kristoff chips it in. The goal scorer for the Beacons. Babson gives it away. Coogan's up top. DeLuzio throws it towards goal. That was knocked down in front, though, by Perullo. Back the other way. Almost a breakaway for Kennedy as DeLuzio will get there first. Has it behind his own net.
Yeah, good hustle.
Looks to headman it up as that one goes back to center as Perullo will slow things down. Gets it to his defense partner, Holland. That one chipped in as Ryan Rowland, or rather, that's Davis Browning. He gets beat to the inside and behind the net as Babson looks to control, but DeLuzio gets it back. He'll reverse it for Coogan's. Coogan's plays it for Kristoff in the air as that one's knocked down and sent back in by Holland. DeLuzio with it on the far side will flip it ahead as Friedman will get a piece of it, and that will go the length of the rink and then be an icing as an unlucky bounce. The puck kind of rolled all the way down and face off back in the Beacon zone with 13:26 to go.
Well, I talked about the pace maybe going from a 10 to an 8 or 9. I might be incorrect. I might have to take the minus on that. So far, the pace has been exactly what we saw in the first period. Up and down the ice. We're almost halfway through this game already. I feel like we've only been on the air in, 30, 40 minutes? What time is it? This is rolling.
That shot from the point gets deflected in front. That was Wudenberg who threw it towards goal. Coogan's steals. Coogan shoots. That one goes just wide on the blocker side of Hildebrand. Babson breaks out through the middle. Driscoll has Torres on the wing, leaves it for him. Torres throws it towards goal, and a nice save there by Darius Bell.
And that's what you want from your goaltender, right? And especially in a game like this, when the pace is quick and you get caught up in it a little bit, you need your goaltender to always be the guy that slows it down, especially when you got the lead. You can see there, that's a tricky little shot there from the slot. Bell was able to just corral it, get the whistle, allow his team to change. You need more of that in this game.
Egan Schmidt wins that face-off. Penalty coming here, and this will be against Babson, or rather against UMass, because I thought that UMass had possession for a good 3 seconds there.
I thought so too. Yeah. And I'll tell you, on top of that, you're exactly right, but on top of that, now this is 3 penalties against UMass, none against Babson. And that's something where the coaching staff might want to have a word with the referees. They're going to call it like they see it, but eventually it reaches a point where, hey, you got to make sure you're watching both teams here. This is the 3rd opportunity here for the Beavers. We're only halfway through this game.
So Pat Keegan, the guilty party, he'll take a seat for boarding. Babson, the 3rd power play. That one up top. As Dion over to Bailey. His shot gets blocked by Carabelli. Now off the half wall there by Kramer. His shot stopped there by Bell. Now once again Bailey as that puck bounces off his stick and forces it back to center. 12:30 to go, second period. Babson on the power play for the 3rd time. Kramer with speed, taking it around behind the net. Chips it up in the near side. That shot thrown towards the goal by Bailey goes wide. DeLuzio first there. Nice job to keep it in at the far side by Dion, but it's chipped back to the neutral zone right after that as Cam Jocelyn will regroup. Colby Bailey will leave things off for Nolan Dion. Looking up ice. Approaching a minute to go on the Babson power play. That shot gets blocked by Rowland, and it goes behind the net.
Nice block.
Now flipped up to the top. Dion dancing with it. Takes it to the outside. Now takes it down low, leaving it off at the face-off circle. Jocelyn towards the middle for Bailey. Now centering pass there by Kramer. Goes under the stick.
Beacons look tired.
As Bankowskis, and a nice play there by Ryan Rowland.
Massive. Get the whole group changed, and the Beacons were tired. They were at first I thought they were just playing passive. It was just they were exhausted. And you didn't see a lot of movement on the PK. Babson was moving the puck around at will. A nice play by Rowland just to get that deflection up and out of play, get the whole unit changed. And now 37 seconds left on this power play with a fresh group. You got to like your chances.
Great play by Ryan Rowland. That's a classic hockey play that doesn't go on the score sheet, but makes a big difference as that one's sent all the way down the river. The Beacons will clear it as we're under 30 seconds now on the Babson power play. Andrioli head-manning it up for Holland. Will Holland will bring it in. He gets stalemated or stood up at the line there by Ryan Bogan. And once again, Babson and the final 10 approaching now of their third power play. Will send it in. Ryan Bogan gets there first, hammers it off the glass all the way down, and that will kill things off. So the Beacons penalty killers once again do their job as they're now 3 for 3. But now back the other way comes Will Holland with speed, leaving it off for Murphy towards the net. Save! Puck comes out loose again, and finding it again is Bell, and he'll tie it up.
I'll tell you what, on top of the way he moves in the crease, his tracking ability is also stellar, and you can see there that puck was a little bit awkward. He made the stop, but his ability to find that right just off the net to the right side, he was able to get that into his glove and get the whistle. Nice little save there.
And we have a penalty here, Mizey, and the Beacons will go on the power play.
I have no idea what this call is. I did not. Did you see? I didn't see anything.
I did not see the signal. My guess is that it could be a post-whistle foul for perhaps whacking at the goaltender.
An extra shot. I think you're right. That's the only thing it could be. So a great opportunity here for the Beacons. And like we talked about, Babson gets 3 calls. Now Beacons get their opportunity.
So Manzo, Duncan, and Clifton with Friedman and Bogan at the point. Friedman with it. Gets it to Bogan up top. Bogan, the puck bounces off his stick, and that one sent the length of the rink by Ryan Murphy. A bit of a miscommunication there as Bell didn't know which way Bogan wanted him to put the puck in, but the Beacons will move it up ice. Bogan in the neutral zone. And another miscommunication there as that one's sent in by Thomas Kramer, and it'll go all the way around. Bogan behind the net. Shovels it for Corey Clifton on the far side. He'll take it through center ice, and a pass through the middle. Not sure who that was intended for, as that one's sent by Babson back behind the net. With minute 15, a chance in front for Babson, as that was the penalty killer, Andrew Holland, who whacked that towards the front of the net. And a giveaway. Holland, another chance shorthanded. Walks in, shoots. That goes just wide. Ryan Bogan perhaps bothering him enough on the back check, but not an ideal power play so far for UMass.
No, this is terrible. They can't even break out of their own zone.
Guggens with speed. Takes it in. Far side. That shot goes just wide on the blocker side. Manzo able to keep it in. Manzo stays with it. Takes it down low. Holds. Tries to get it up top. Is able to. Ryan Rowland with it. Over to Guggens. Guggens for Walker. Back to Guggens. Over for Kristoff. Up top. Rowland. His shot. Blocked in front. Didn't get through. And finding the loose puck is Colby Bailey, and he'll send it all the way down the ice. Full change for the Beavers as the final 15 seconds of the Beacons' first power play of the game. And that puck hits a skate in the neutral zone, so the Beacons will have to regroup once again, and that will pretty much kill things off for their first power play. Ryan Rowland, though, head-manning it up. The defenseman chips it in. He'll chase. Shovels it over for Carabelli on the near side. Carabelli down low, Kristoff with it. Or rather, that's Ty Matthews. Matthews dancing with it. Circles back. One hands it over for Carabelli. Puck bounces over his stick, but he's able to find it. Now he's tied up in the corner. Ty Matthews helping with support there. Tries to shovel it out. Gets it for Carabelli. Now DeLuzio up top. His shot thrown towards the net and deflects up into the netting with 8:16 to go here in the middle period.
Yikes. Tough power play for the Beacons, man. It looks all out of sorts. That's something that needs to be addressed. And the breakout wasn't even close. They did get a couple opportunities, but wasn't too much structure in their own zone. You got to need your special teams, right? In a game like this, it's obviously going to be close halfway through. You need your special teams to be able to do more than that.
We talked about the power play much stronger as of late than it was towards the beginning of the season. As the Beacons control that one, Bankhauskas wins it. Keegan throws it towards the goal, and I don't think Hildebrand had any idea where that puck was. As that one sent all the way down in icing, it looked like Hildebrand was kind of frozen back in his crease, and anytime you see a goaltender that deep in his net, he has no idea where the puck is.
Especially from that distance, and with a shot like Keegan. He's a guy that can let it fly. You wonder if that's on net, what would have happened, but doesn't matter now.
So Bankowskis as that face off. Beacons controlled it at the beginning, and that one flipped up but not out. Keegan able to keep it in. He'll send it back in, around behind the net. Bankowskis gets there first as he lifted the stick there of Woodenberg to win the puck. Beacons still digging for it as that one whacked, not out. Babson with it. Chris Rooney behind his own net. Shovels it ahead for Wyatt George, but he gives it away for Pat Keegan. Corey Clifton will send it in. That goes around the kick blade. Partial change for UMass. Bankowskis flips it behind the net. Clifton tried to get there first, but he got out muscled as Babson looks to break out. Wyatt George plays it through the middle. Egan Schmidt. There's a collision there. Losing his stick was Pat Keegan. Bordeaux tries to flip that one up, but way too high off the ceiling. So a whistle, and the faceoff will stay in the Beacon zone.
Important faceoff here. Coming off a power play, you weren't able to generate much. You still have a 1-0 lead. You got to expect a second push here from Babson, right? You got to feel pretty good in terms of the way that they killed that penalty. They were creating some turnovers here, and they're not going to be happy still seeing that 0 on the board. So you got to expect this team to push a little bit hard here.
Beavers control the draw as that one goes behind the net. DeLuzio tries to play it around, not out. That pass deflects in front. As getting a piece of it was Torres on the shot by Will Holland, but it goes wide. DeLuzio gets there first. He'll shovel it out as that goes onto the stick of James Perullo. Will Holland playing it up. Ian Driscoll brings it in, gets it towards the front of the net, and they couldn't find it. Sam Siebold was around the crease, but the puck was behind him, and he couldn't locate it. As now UMass tries to break out. DeLuzio hits Kristoff on the near side. Now over for Browning. He'll flip it in cross corner. Evan Guggen's there first. Tried to leave it for Kristoff, but it was too far to his right. Now back the other way. Brendan Kennedy on the near side, looking to get it to the middle, but it goes right to Grady Friedman. Puck explodes off his stick. Goes to the corner. Friedman stays with it. Friedman headmans it himself through the middle. Nice move. Troubles it over for Kristoff. Kristoff gets it for Friedman. Tries to take a whack at it, and the puck will roll in on Hildebrand, and he'll freeze it for a whistle with 6:10 to go in the second.
And again, just such a fragile state in this game. 1-0. Neither team wants to make an egregious mistake and allow any type of high chance scoring opportunity. So you're kind of feeling that here late in the second period. Both teams, I think the Beacons have defended well. I think Babson has done a much better job in the neutral zone. They've kind of clogged things up. Interesting to see what happens here.
Andy Walker wins the draw. Ty Matthews stepped into a wrist shot, but it didn't get through, hit a body. That one flipped back in behind the net. Playing ahead is Andrioli. A chance the other way. Thomas Kramer has Kennedy. Nice play by Duncan, who is back on defense covering. As another giveaway, that one almost wiggled through to the front of the net as a golden opportunity for Murphy, but the puck rolled off his stick. Krapinski loses it. Kennedy wheels it towards the front, sticked away by Bell as Babson plays it through the middle. That one goes just over the stick of Matt Cormier. Behind the net, Krapinski moves it up for Duncan. He'll flip it towards the middle. Was looking for Ty Matthews, but that one gloved down in the air by Andrioli. Colby Bailey through center ice has Matthews riding him. That one flipped in. Bell will steer it to the corner. Now back behind the net. Andrew Holland comes up top. That shot from the point goes wide by Gray Owens. Bankowskis through the neutral zone. He'll enter. And a heavy hit there from Nolan Dion as he staples Bankowskis to the boards. Carabelli comes back though. And that one flipped in behind the net. Jacob Banks there first on the far side. Wheels it to the faceoff dot. To the middle. Throws it towards goal. Doesn't get through. It was into the skates of Dion, and he'll flip it back to center. Now Holland will flip it in, but he was offside, and that faceoff will come in the neutral zone.
It's funny looking around. A lot of alumni in the building here tonight. You know it means a lot to the current players, and a lot of them showed up. They didn't have to wake up that early today, but a lot of them showed up to the game at 10 o'clock, and it's nice to see that camaraderie, right? The older generations giving back, coming to a game like this. A lot of players from out of town. It just gives you that extra boost. Hopefully it pays dividends.
Pankowskis with speed, cuts to the middle. Oh, what a great move that would have been if he pulled it off. But it was a nice job defensively. Giveaway, Banks throws it towards goal, steered away by Hildebrand. Now Friedman, or rather Carabelli, flips it up top. Pat Keegan tries to chip it in. It goes off the glass, and now it's being battled for on the near side half wall. As it finally comes out loose, and James Perillo behind his own net as Babson looks to slow things down. 4 minutes here to go in the second period. Beacon still with a 1-0 lead. On the goal by Jazz Kristoff. As that one thrown to the far side as Egan Schmidt now plays it to the near side. Looking for Wyatt George too far ahead. Pat Keegan now with speed. Out of his own end. Stays with it. Takes it past the red line. Will bring it in. Keegan on the near side. Flips it around the kick blade behind the net. Corey Clifton will reverse it, but nobody there except for Chris Rooney, and he'll play it up. But DeLuzio right there tries to send it in, but it goes into the body of Will Holland. Holland now head-manning it up. He'll try to chip it in, but DeLuzio stands his ground. And Owen Bordeaux now with it. And he'll get it over for Browning on the far side. DeLuzio for Clifton in the middle. As Bordeaux, now Manzo leaves it for Clifton. Clifton back to Manzo, and he couldn't finish it.
It's on his backhand. You got to fire that if you're Clifton. You got to recognize righty-lefty. That would have been on his backhand. Even if he caught it, it would have been a tough play. Just fire that thing.
Torres to Bailey, his shot. Great save by Bell with the glove, flashing the leather. 2:53 to go, second period.
He's been solid. And really not a lot going on in terms of second chances here tonight. Every time there seems to be a shot, Bell's been there. And they've needed every save. Still 1-0 here, 2:53 left in the second period. Strong goaltending performance.
Evan Guggen's able to win that face-off and took a whack from Ian Driscoll afterwards. As nice hit by Driscoll on Friedman. Puck goes in the neutral zone. That one dumped in by Woodenberg. Goes all the way around to the far side. Babson making a change. Almost too many men, but the official's arms will stay down. Kristoff trips it up. Tries to get around his man. Can't because Nolan Dion gets there first. But Kristoff relentless on the forecheck. As Babson will send it back to the near side. Woodenberg try to play it through the middle. Gives it away. Kristoff looking for Friedman. Friedman couldn't handle the bouncing puck as that one's sent back to the neutral zone. Now onto the near side. That one's flipped in by Torres all the way around. Ryan Rowland got there first, but the puck sneaks to the far side boards. Guggens now swoops in. Guggens has Duncan in the middle. Gets it to him. Alex Duncan a chance. His shot and a blocker saved by Hildebrand. Puck goes to the corner. Duncan tries to backhand it, but nobody there. As now Babson back the other way. Max Torres with speed. Gives it away as Andy Walker hits Ryan Bogan. Defenseman will send it in. That goes back behind the net. Played up, but not out. Ryan Bogan towards the net, deflects and goes. Looked like it went out of play, but the officials say keep it moving. As now back up ice. Here comes Brendan Kennedy. Top line out there for the Beavers. And a big hit there by Krapinski.
Love to see it.
Will Holland got sent to the ice there. A nice job by the Beacons defenseman.
Right in front of the student section on top of it.
Got behind the net. Krapinski with another heavy hit as he'll chip it to the far side. A minute to go, second period. Ty Matthews, a 3-on-2 perhaps. Maybe a 2-on-1 now. Ty Matthews has Bankowskis. Matthews shot, save, rebound, and score! Coyle Bankowskis finishes it off, and the Beacons lead it 2-0.
Well, I'll tell you what, a tremendous effort. Carabelli's down, and he's hurt. They're going to have to check on him. But a tremendous effort. And you mentioned it. It looked like it was going to be maybe a 2-on-2, a 3-on-2, but just a tremendous effort by Matthews to beat down the wall and create that 2-on-1. And a nice little play, get it to the net. And that was going to be one of the things that I was talking about on the intermission. I was off by 50 seconds, was the Beacons weren't getting enough pucks to the net. And you can see there, Matthews just tried to get it to the front of the net as best he could. Created a little bit of an ugly goal, but the Beacons, that's a massive 2-0 lead now. With 50 seconds in the second period, they should have a 2-0 lead going into the third.
That was all generated by the speed of Ty Matthews on the far side.
Without a doubt.
You mentioned, Mizey, a dirty goal, but the Beacons will take it, and you hope Carabelli's all right. It looks like for the meantime he'll stay at least around the bench area.
Yeah, tough hit. It looked like he hit the post pretty good. He was down for a minute. The training staff's leaving him alone, which is usually a good sign. It usually means the athlete is telling you he's fine. Probably wind knocked out of him, but a crucial, less than a minute here, crucial part of this hockey game. Cannot allow Babson to get a goal here.
Kristoff again through center ice. Takes a hit there to move it in. As we approach 30 seconds now to go here in the second period. Ryan Rowland tried to keep it in, but the linesman saying it got out, so an offside, and the faceoff will come in the neutral zone.
Well, let's take a look at this replay here, and you're going to take a look. Nice hit right in front of the student section there by Krupinski. Now watch down the other side. Matthews gets this towards the front of the net, and they're going to give that to Bankowskis. You can see the celebration. He was able to get some wood. I thought it was Matthews' goal, and it trickled in, but Bankowskis was able to get something on it. You can see two forwards from the Beacons going to that back post, and both their goals here tonight have been what most players would call ugly goals, right? Getting into the front of the net and then just having somebody there to score. Bankowskis makes it 2-0 Beacons.
Beacons perhaps trying to get one more, and they also have a power play. So they get the power play, which we didn't even realize after the goal, as Guggens now cuts to the outside. That one goes towards the middle, and you got to think it was a foul on Carabelli, as that will do it for the second period.
Yeah, penalty on me for not recognizing it, but you're exactly right. Beacons have already expired close to half of their power play here, but you got to love the way that period ended. It seemed very strategic in the way they approached it. Neither team had really had a major advantage in that second period until the final minute of play, and what a credit to Ty Matthews to recognize that he had help coming down the weak side, but instead of trying to force the pass, he was able to just take that one extra stride and create that 2-on-1. Bankowskis continues to go to the net. That's just a simple hockey play. Again, you learn those early on in your career, and the Beacons have executed twice now on those types of plays. So got to love it if you're the coaching staff. 2-0 Beacons here at home with 20 to play. I like their odds.
How impressed are you, Mize, you have to ask, with the way that the Beacons have been able to keep pace and play this run-and-gun style hockey against the 12th ranked team in the nation?
Yeah, not really their MO. You know, this is not really what this team is all about, but somehow they've been able to stay and keep pace with this Babson team. I thought this was going to be more of a structured game. They were going to try to limit the opportunities that the Beavers threw at them. Instead, they've been able to go with them now for 40 minutes, and I think if you're Babson, you've got some question marks now. All of a sudden, right, 1-0 is one thing. 2-0 now, you've got to find two in this third period just to climb back into the game. So I think the one thing that could be a detriment to the Beacons is if they get a little bit too confident, feeling like you've already won something with 20 minutes left here to play. And it's an easy thing to do with a late goal going into the locker room. I guarantee you guys are going to be high-fiving, patting each other on the backside, feeling like they did something good, and that's true. But you've got to get over that quickly because you still have 20 minutes here, and I guarantee you this Babson team is going to throw the sink at you.
Well, we mentioned off the top of the broadcast, this had the potential to be a really good hockey game, and it has been. We mentioned both these teams red hot. Babson coming in, having won 5 of their last 6, and we mentioned the Beacons really starting to find their game, winning 6 of their last 8, and they have a 2-0 lead headed in to the second period intermission. We'll be back to go over our scoring summary and game stats. Once again, Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbach here. We'll be right back here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact, not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just a starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like the place that people want to go.
What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands out to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
And welcome back. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher here with you inside Edward T. Berry Ice Rink. UMass Boston leading Babson 2-0 after 2. As we take a look at our scoring summary up to this point, it was Jazz Kristoff who opened the scoring, grabbing his 4th of the season, assisted by Jacob Banks. And then in the second period, with just 50 seconds to go, it was Coyle Bankowskis, generated by a great play by Ty Matthews using his speed to the outside, got the puck to the front of the net. Gino Carabelli in the area as well, and that's where we stand now. And just good effort so far by the Beacons. As we take a look at our stats through this point, Babson has the edge in shots, 16-11. 16 saves thus far for Darius Bell, 9 for Nolan Hildebrand. Face-offs, Beacons dominating in that department, 22-11, which has been a big part of the possession in this game. Both teams are 0-4 on the power play, but the Beacons will open the third period on the power play.
They certainly will, and you mentioned the face-offs. 22 out of 33 is very impressive, and something that we really haven't seen from this team, and something's changed because you're exactly right, generated a lot of possessions off those face-offs in both zones. The thing for me, and you take a look at the shots on goal, right? Babson a little bit lower than par. Usually you want about 20 in this period. Beacon's way below with only 11, but that doesn't matter. They've found a way to bury 2. And so I think for me, that's going to be a huge emphasis in this third period. Babson's going to, they don't have a choice. They have to go completely offensive. It should create some opportunities for them, but it should also create some opportunities for the Beacons. And this Babson team is usually very structured in the way that they play hockey. They're going to probably have to be more aggressive in the offensive zone. The Beacons can somehow find a way to join the rush, create some of those odd man opportunities. You just saw it on the second goal. They're able to capitalize. If they can get a third here, you got to like what you see, and should walk out of here with a W, but it's going to be tough. I think this Babson team is going to throw everything that they got, and they got to get this 0 off the board. I know that's a thorn in their side right now. They're talking about it right now in the locker room. They got to find a way to get one. Beacon's got to find a way to continue to defend. It's looked good all night.
You mentioned the shots, too. Is the Beacons, they've had opportunities to get pucks to the net in high-danger areas, but I know you're frustrated a few times there where they pass up the shot opportunity, which is surprising because we've seen the shot mentality out of this team recently, but a couple scenarios where you would have liked to see them shoot the puck.
Yeah, a little bit too fancy for me. You're exactly right. A few opportunities where I thought that perhaps it should have been a shot, and you see the shot totals, only 11 on goal. To me, regardless of the score, that's got to change. You've got to find a way to get more rubber on this goaltender, especially given the fact that the more offense you play, the less opportunity Babson has to play offense of their own. So that's the other thing, too, is I don't think you can go into a defensive shell here. You've got to continue to pressure this team, and shots on goal have to rise. Anytime the goaltender covers it and gets a face-off in his own zone is a win for the Beacons right now.
Well, with that, we'll wrap up our second intermission coverage. Once again, Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher here with you. The Beacons with a 2-0 lead over Babson heading into the third period. We'll be back for third period action on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. It's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me.
And welcome back, everybody. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher here with you inside Edward T. Barry Ice Rink as we head into the third period here with UMass leading Babson 2-0, and it's been quite a hockey game here. A lot of run and gun up and down the ice, back and forth, and we'll see how things go for the third period, but the Beacons will have a minute 10 of power play time to start.
Yeah, important start for them, right? You got a minute 10 here to try and generate some offense. If you can make it 3-0, fantastic. But I think for me, the emphasis has got to be defense. And the last thing you want to do is get into a defensive shell here. Continue to attack. It's worked all night. Continue to attack, work that clock as best you can, continue to play offense. And like I said during the intermission, if you can get shots on goal, have this goaltender cover up as much as possible, those are all small wins for this team, right? Those are in-zone draws. You're forcing Babson to go 200 feet. I think that's the recipe for a win here if you're the Beacons. If you're Babson, you've struggled offensively here tonight. You've not been able to solve Bell. He's made some good saves, but you haven't tested him enough to really put yourself in a position for a win. So I think Babson has to come out, and I would expect an adjustment here offensively, trying to just generate more scoring opportunities for this team. If you can get it to 2-1 with the momentum factor, you got to like your chances. This game, I know it's 2-0, but could go either way.
Well, buzzer sounds, and we're just about set to start third period action, and we're underway. Andy Walker wins the faceoff. Evan Guggens out there. He'll be on the point as the Beacons chip it in. A minute to go on their power play with a fresh sheet of ice, but that one sent right down the river as out to play it is Darius Bell. Chris Rooney hard on the forecheck there, shorthanded, as Pat Keegan, or rather Kristoff, being held all the way and right in front of the official. They do not call it.
Had his hand up by the cage.
And now Guggens brings it in on the near side. Centering pass, a shot. Not sure if that got through, but if it did, Hildebrand was there.
Quick play by the Beacons there, just off the wall, feed the center, try to get a shot. It almost worked.
Final 30 now of the power play as that one bounces off the stick of Kristoff, and that one's wheeled towards the middle, but Guggens is right there. He'll bring it in. Evan Guggens takes it behind the net. Now to the far side. Late man, Krapinski shot, and that one turned aside by Hildebrand. That one wheeled to the far side. Final 10 seconds of the Beacons power play. Krapinski going cross ice, and somehow the puck stayed in. Bogan whacks it ahead, but that will do it for the Beacons power play. So we're back to 5 aside as Babson now looks to move things up. An errant pass through the middle by Nolan Dion. As now once again Babson regroups. Played in the middle, Thomas Kramer. Chips it for Max Torres. Torres flips it towards the goal, and stopping it there is Bell, and he'll take a whistle quickly here in this third period.
Point of note, they moved Friedman back to that top line. So again, it's Clifton, Manzo, and Friedman. It looked like Bordeaux was playing up there with them for a little while, but they've adjusted, got back to their traditional top line.
Ian Driscoll and Coyle Bankowskis on the faceoff. Bankowskis able to win it. Bankowskis scoring the second goal for the Beacons with just 50 seconds to go in that second period, which is where we stand now. Pat Keegan now on the far side. He'll chip it ahead. Good to see Gino Carabelli back out there after he was down for a few seconds after that goal. And he's back out there. That one chipped up and out of play. 18:04 to go, third period.
Faceoffs become ever critical in a situation like this for both teams. Offensive zone draw for the Beacons, defensive zone draw for Babson. And the way the Beacons have been winning draws here tonight, if they can continue, again, that's just another check in their column for a win here.
Bankowskis wins another one. Browning, D to DeLuzio. He'll play it off the boards behind the net. Puck caught in the apron of the net and whacked towards the end boards. Tied up was Banks, is now with speed out of his own end. Chris Rooney moves it on the wing. Wyatt George around the net, waiting for reinforcements. Late man up the bench shot, and a save by Bell. I believe that got him in the mask as that one threw towards the front. Carabelli there, and Banks tries to chip it, but it doesn't go out. Chris Rooney stays with it, gets it down low. Egan Schmidt to the far side for Wyatt George. George looking, tries to throw it towards the middle, but DeLuzio is right there. DeLuzio headman's it himself. The defenseman chips it ahead as the rest of his teammates will make a change, and somehow that's icing.
Yeah, I saw what he was trying to do there was chip it to himself and beat the icing out. Looked like it could have been somewhat of an interference call, but I think the referees had enough there to whistle it off.
So the face-off will come back in the UMass zone to the right of Darius Bell. 17-17 to go as Beacons almost had too many men on the ice off the face-off as Jacob Banks will head off. DeLuzio playing it to the far side. Alex Duncan receives that pass. Tried to shovel it for Clifton, but nice play in the neutral zone. But Andy Walker steps in front of that pass, comes out with it. Andy Walker will send it in. That goes behind the Babson net. Getting there first is James Perillo. He'll move it up, and a big hit by Andy Walker. Taking it in is Matt Cormier. Down the far side, he gets tripped up, and Ryan Bogan will take a seat for a trip. So not what the Beacons wanted here early in this third period.
Just one of those where there's a puck in the corner, so as a defenseman, you're trying to lock up. And you basically ride the player into the wall. If you can get the puck, great, but you know you're getting support. So all you're trying to do is lock up, but he gets the stick right in the skates. Just really unfortunate. It's the right play, but the result is not what he wanted. Bogan's going to sit. So a golden opportunity here for the Beavers. 16:48 left to play in the third. And now a 2-minute power play. Take a look at that. You can see just all he's trying to do is get him into the wall there. And gets it down low enough in the skates. Tripping call, pretty easy for the referees.
Bankowskis wins another face-off. Nice play, though, by Colby Bailey to keep it in at the point. As now Kennedy leaving it off for Max Dion, or Nolan Dion, rather, down low. That one shot gets blocked by Ryan Rowland. Puck in the corner. Being battled for on the half wall. Keegan tries to chip it out, but kept in at the line.
Great
Keegan
stick.
gets a loose puck and sends that one the length of the rink.
Great stick and great read by Keegan. And he's a big defenseman. He moves well, and you can see he knew where that puck was going, was able to corral it, send it all the way down the ice.
Moving it ahead, entering is Thomas Kramer. Kramer will take it around behind the net. To the outside, the face-off circle. Throws it towards goal, hits a body and goes wide. And that one comes up to the top. Nolan Dion, D to D, that shot. Blocked by Carabelli. And that one comes out to center.
Definitely.
And that should be a deliberate offside, so
Yeah,
the face-off should come all the way back to the Babson side. But
I agree with you. They're going to keep this close. I thought that was intentional as well. But they're going to keep it on the Beacon side of the red line.
that's something I've noticed in all levels of hockey. It seems as if the officials are going away from that deliberate offsides call.
Yeah, it has to be pretty egregious for them to call it. I agree with you.
Beacons control, though. Andy Walker wins the draw. Pat Keegan rifles that one off the glass, and it goes all the way back to the Babson end. Perillo will play it to the far side. Will Holland chips it through the middle. Getting there first was Ryan Rowland, who plays it back to center. James Perillo will take it through center. Brings it in and flips it into the near corner, or the far corner. Now Keegan gets there first, as that one goes up to the top for Will Holland. Walking in, backdoor chance, and a great save there by Darius Bell once again.
Best of the night.
Another one as that one gets waffle boarded over the top of the net. Final 20 seconds of the Babson power play. Centering pass. That shot goes off of the glove perhaps of Bell and wide. Final 10 now. As that one tied up behind the net. Rowland able to get there first. Not out. Will Holland keeps it in. D-to-D to Perillo. His shot gets a body in front, doesn't get through. That'll do it for the Babson power play.
Even here, can't ice the puck. This is important. Beacons are tired.
Keegan tries to move it, turns it over. Egan Schmidt leaving it off for Will Holland to the middle. Knocked down by Keegan.
Keegan again. That's 3 just in this one shift. He's exhausted.
And he'll spoon it all the way to the neutral zone. Grady Friedman leaves it off for Jacob Banks, working 1 against 3. Jacob Banks to the outside, stays with it, behind the net. Gets stapled to the boards by Perillo. Puck's loose, and Banks, that puck was right in front, and Banks, who was headed off for a change, didn't know where it was, but he could have whacked that one home.
You're exactly right. He was so focused on getting to the bench, he didn't know the puck was right in front of him. He could have got a shot on goal easily.
Egan Schmidt now taking it down the outside, working on Browning, wheels it to the front, and just missing the stick of Chris Rooney. Brady Friedman now will chip it off glass, and this will be an icing, as back first is Nolan Woodenberg. So the face-off back to the Beacon zone with 13:50 to go, final period.
Yeah, tough play for Friedman there. He didn't have much of an option, but trying to go off the glass and just nobody home. And that's hard. Yeah, that's tough. When you're at the end of a shift here, you don't have an easy out. There's a tendency to just kind of want to get rid of it. Now you got an icing. This is an important draw here.
Max Torres and Evan Guggens. Guggens wins it. Brady Friedman chips it off the glass back to center. That one sent by Andrioli to the far side. Guggens for Kristoff. Back to Guggens on the far wing. Guggens takes it behind the net, shovels it in front, but it goes right onto the stick of Matt Cormier. Back the other way. Nice play by Guggens on the back check. Able to lift the stick and wheel the puck all the way back in the Babson end. Babson looks to break out through the middle. Colby Bailey takes it himself to the goal, and a save by Bell. Ryan Bogan now, he'll shovel it to the middle. Owen Bordeaux there, but too far ahead. And we have a whistle and a penalty. And I believe it's going to be going on Andrew Holland, so the Beacons will have another power play opportunity. And it's a slash.
Massive opportunity here. Take a look at this replay. Didn't quite get the penalty in there, but a slash for sure. Holland will sit, and Beacons now up 2-0 here. 13-11 left in the third period with an opportunity to give themselves a 3-0 lead. And boy, if you can do that, gotta like where you're at with the amount of time left on the clock.
Golden opportunity. The top unit is Manzo, Duncan, Clifton, Krapinski, and Friedman at the point. Manzo wins the faceoff. Clifton to Friedman. Krapinski to the middle. His shot goes wide. Friedman on the far side, able to settle it down, and then it bounces off his stick. Plays it off his skate. Goes back behind the net as Manzo couldn't find it, and that one sent the length of the rink. As Darius Bell out to play it. Gets it for Friedman on the far side. Back across for Krapinski. Krapinski through the middle, takes it in, drops it for Manzo. Manzo across for Friedman. Friedman stick handling, gets it for Krapinski in the middle. Back to Clifton, his shot, save, rebound, another save by Hildebrand, still loose, and it goes behind the net.
2 great saves by Hildebrand, keeping his team in this hockey game.
That one rifled, kept in, but no, Krapinski had it, and then it trickled past the blue line. 1:13 to go on the Beacons power play. They get right back in the offensive zone. Manzo wheels it for Clifton. Puck bounces off his skates, but he's able to stay with it, and a miscommunication there as Manzo was headed towards the middle, and it goes back to center as Ryan Rowland will have to regroup. And he gives it away. Not a smart pass there as the puck goes back for Babson in their own end, and that one rifled all the way down the ice. Under 50 seconds now on the Beacons power play. Bell leaving it off for Rowland. Now Guggens with it. Guggens takes a spill, gets up and stays with it. Gets it for Andy Walker. Andy Walker through the near side will chip it in. He'll chase. Looked like he got there first, but it was Will Holland who found it, and he'll send it all the way down. Back to get it is Ryan Rowland. Final 20 of the Beacons power play. Guggens through the middle. Kristoff off a stick. That shot goes just wide. Ty Matthews now. He gets shoved against the boards, but able to get it for Kristoff, who gets canceled out by Andrioli. And that one goes all the way down, and this will most likely do it for the Beacons power play. Darius Bell with a nice pass for Guggens. They're back to 5 aside. Guggens enters the zone. working on the near side. Guggens to the net, saved by Hildebrand. Puck goes behind the net. Bankowskis tried to get there as that one's whacked, and another big hit by Banks, and he wins the puck. Ty Matthews up top. He'll flip it in, or rather that was Browning. And now it goes to the far side. Bankowskis takes a hit, and now Banks puts a hit on Cam Jocelyn as the puck goes to the near corner. Carabelli disrupts that pass. Babson able to stay with it though, and back to center as another big hit behind the play. Cam Jocelyn stays with it. Beat DeLuzio momentarily. Babson stays with it as it was Thomas Kramer who tried to get to the front, couldn't. Coyle Bankowskis, and looks
another
like
whistle.
UMass is going to be guilty for an interference. So the Beacons will be shorthanded again, and it's going to be Gino Carabelli heading off.
I was just about to say, the way these Beacons are being the aggressor right now is exactly where they want to be, and then they take a penalty now given Babson. And you know what? I would think about, 10:25 left in the third. You take your timeout. You got to get the zero off the board. I mean, that's the thing mentally. Just continuing to look up. You look at the clock. You see the zero. They're not going to take it, but this power play is just so, and they are going to take it. And I would.
Good call, Mizey.
I absolutely would here because you've got 10:25. You've had how many power plays now?
I believe this is their fifth.
You got to capitalize, right? It's all right now. You don't have enough time left in this game to try and save the timeout. So take it here, rest your best guys, see if you can make it 2-1, and then all of a sudden you give yourself that much more clocks. The difference between a 1-goal game and a 2-goal game with 10:25 left in the third is massive. So this is a huge point in the game. And, I wonder what the Beacons are going to do because they were the aggressor there for the last 3-4 minutes, and now all of a sudden you got to flip the switch. You got to play some strong D. Your goaltender's played well. He's made some great saves here tonight. Take a look at this replay. See if we can see the call. I didn't quite see it. Probably right there. Yeah, that was Carabelli. So just got him twisted up a little bit on the interference call. Take a look at it again. You're going to see at the top of the circle right there.
Yeah, kind of uses that free hand.
Yeah, twists him up. So a good call by the referees. Looked like interference for sure.
I would say this has probably been one of the better officiated games that we've called this year.
Pretty solid. The Beacons coaching staff might have a word. They haven't had as many opportunities as the Beacons, but I would agree with you from an unbiased perspective. I think the referees have had a good balance between letting them play but calling what was necessary.
As both teams exit their benches from the timeout. It'll be Egan Schmidt and Andy Walker on the faceoff. Kramer and Kennedy on the wing. And a different look. Max Torres at the point on this power play for the Beavers. They'll control. Torres up top. Moving it over for Dion. Chips it for Kramer on the far side. Kramer back for Dion in the middle. Dion down low for Torres. That shot blocked by Pat Keegan. And the puck goes all the way back, but not out. Another chance. Torres walking in. Moves it down low for Kennedy. Kennedy can't stay with it. Nice job by Rowland disrupting him as Torres comes out with it. Wheels it down low. Kennedy tried to get it to the front. That was canceled out by Rowland. Now up top, Dion. Over for Kramer. His shot hits a stick. Andy Walker got it as that one's sent in the corner. Kennedy in front. That shot was fanned on by Kramer in a great shooting area. That shot thrown towards the goal by Torres hits a skate and goes wide. A minute approaching on the Babson power play. That shot up top, blocked. Andy Walker has it. And not able to get it out. As you said, Mizey, you got to get that puck out.
That has to go deep. Now you're just you're taxing your penalty killer so much right now by not getting that puck out. You can't have that.
There's another chance. That goes off the stick of Kramer. Dion able to keep it in up top. Tired penalty killers out there for the Beacons.
That's a penalty.
And another penalty coming here, and they score. So Thomas Kramer on the power play rips it top shelf on the glove side and cuts the UMass lead in half.
Well, I hate to do it to him, but that's on Andy Walker. You got a senior forward with the puck right along the wall. He has an easy out, and I don't know what he was trying to do there. I think he was trying to make a play and buy some more clock, but you got to simplify. You've got tired penalty killers there. You got to get that the length of the ice. Now Pat Keegan takes a penalty, and you're going to be right back on the penalty kill. Just a massive error by Andy Walker, something I don't expect from him. He knows it. I can see him getting off the ice. You got to find a way to get that puck deep. and he had the easy out. That's what kills me. He just had to go off the glass, and he had it. Now Keegan takes a penalty. You're right back on the kill.
And it'll be for a full 2 minutes as they scored with the delayed penalty. So Babson a chance perhaps to double dip and tie things up. That shot on goal, and a nice save by Darius Bell. Babson stays with it. As Holland moves it to the far side for Egan Schmidt. Now up top, Perillo. As that puck bounces off of Driscoll in the corner. Schmidt now with it, gives it away. Davis Browning couldn't get it out. Up top. Now down low, Driscoll shot. That hits something in front.
I think Bell got it.
As now it comes up top. Perillo walking in, moving it over for Holland. Down low, that shot. It was a knuckler and gloved and held as it was going wide, but a smart play by Bell to slow things down.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And you wonder that the hard part for the Beacons is your penalty killers have been taxed now for about 3 minutes and change. Do you use your timeout to try and rest them? By doing that, you give Babson a chance to rest their players. So not as easy decision, and a good out there by the Beacons.
It was Koprinski who sent it the length of the rink. I'll tell you, he's been a presence here today.
Certainly.
Throwing his body around and getting some time on the power play and the penalty kill as this one sent in. Ryan Rowland tried to send it out. Puck rolled off his stick. Comes up top for Dion. Tries to chip it. Bankowskis, a chance for a breakaway shorthanded. Can he get there? Bankowskis does. Cuts to the net. Backhander. Oh, he just misses.
Just missed it.
He had the room, but the puck rolled off his stick.
Yeah, exactly right. He was trying to go far side, made a move on the top of the crease. I think he had Hildebrand beat there, but you said it. Puck rolled off his stick. Wasn't able to tuck it home on the far side.
It's always tough to finish from an angle when you're coming from the near or the far side. As Babson looking to break out, a chance for Kennedy, that shot, and a great play by DeLuzio on the back check, sliding in front of that shot.
Massive block there, massive block. Take a look at the replay here and just watch as this puck comes around. You'll take a look, and just a quick wrister there over the glove side on Bell. Pretty much labeled in the top corner. Tough with the way Bell has played, can't fault him too much there. That's a great shot by Babson, and we've got a hockey game here.
That was his 7th of the season for Thomas Kramer, the junior out of Bridgewater, Massachusetts, as that one goes behind the net. Final 5 of the Babson power play. Thrown to the net. DeLuzio there will skate it, and that'll do it. So the Beacons get a big kill as DeLuzio by himself wheels it to the far side. Manzo gets there. Now gets it for Bordeaux. Up top for Krapinski. He walks in. That shot gets blocked. Krapinski able to stay with it. Nice play, finding the puck, and puts his body into Holland, who takes a seat.
I was just about to reprimand him for getting his shot blocked, but he recovered nicely with the keep and then the nice body check to get that puck deep. And then another one.
Another one. Krapinski has just absolutely owned Andrew Holland here tonight. That's probably about the 4th or 5th time he's put a big hit on Holland. And that puck goes behind the net. And I was going to say, Mizey, that first one was like one of those reverse hits.
Oh, yeah.
Where Holland was the aggressor, but Krapinski just absorbed it.
Without a doubt. Gotta love that. The bench, I know, loves that.
Andrioli now bringing it in, throws it towards the goal. That one's blockered away by Bell. Tied up now in the corner. Pat Keegan and Evan Guggen's digging in there as Andrioli A-frames the puck. Comes out with it. Still loose. Pat Keegan tied up with somebody down there.
He's holding his stick.
As Ryan Bogan does a nice job, able to win it for Kristoff. Kristoff has Bordeaux. Kristoff sends it ahead for him. Bordeaux able to get there first. Bordeaux backhands it. And not enough on it to get to Keegan at the point. Nice job by Guggens, though, on the back check. He's able to wheel it back into the Babson end. And the Beacons will get a change. Stretch pass, though, a chance for Kramer to tie it, and a great save by Bell, and the puck rolls behind the net.
Great read by Bell, knowing he couldn't go upstairs, got the pad there in time. Oh, my
Another
goodness.
Shot. That one deflects just wide off of the skate of Kennedy. That goes back to center.
It's going to be full go for Babson here, these final 5.
Fanning on that pass was Woodenberg, and that one goes all the way down. Beacons make a full change.
Got to be smart with your shifts. Both teams can't get caught. Don't want to get in a position where you're gassed and you don't have everything you can, especially to defend.
That one sent ahead for Kennedy. He gets there. Kennedy, nice move. Tried to cut to the middle, but wasn't able to stay with the puck. That one sent back to center. Woudenberg getting pressured by Ty Matthews. And a steal by Andy Walker. Walker's in, saved by Hildebrand. And that one goes to the far side. And Babson still hasn't cleared the zone yet. Kramer to Woudenberg. Back behind their own net. Perillo on the near side. Babson finally does exit. Back to Kramer. Kramer by himself, now leaving it off. That shot gets chipped just wide by Egan Schmidt. Now Carabelli tried to move it ahead, couldn't. Davis Browning now with it. He's behind his own net. Passes it for DeLuzio through the middle of the ice. Goes to the center, but sent right back in. Coyle Bankowskis will play it ahead, and that one sent in, and that will be an icing. 3:58 to go in this third period. What a hockey game.
Yeah, it really has been exciting. I mean, we've seen a little bit of everything. There's been some great scoring plays. You take a look at the replay here. Andy Walker with a chance of redemption. Hildebrand was able to make the save. But we've seen some hits. We've seen some scoring. These teams, the pace of the game has been fantastic here tonight. And 4 to go. Yeah, I expect to see more of the same.
Hogan will send it in behind the net. Babson controls, though. Back the other way as Chris Rooney now has it. He'll have it with speed into the zone. Pulls up. Gets bumped off the play by Krapinski. Goes behind the net. Jacob Banks now with it. Tries to chip it ahead for Carabelli. He can. Puck rolls off Carabelli's stick. Beacon's able to stay with it, though, and chip it into the Babson end. James Perillo moving it up for Rooney. Now for Egan Schmidt. Or rather, that was Wyatt George. That one thrown to the front of the net, and Bell got a piece of it. Jacob Banks tied up with Egan Schmidt in the corner. Chris Rooney now getting in there. Puck still tied up. Comes out to the point. Perillo a shot. Deflected, goes wide. That one off of Matt Cormier, who was parked in front of the net. Comes back to center. Corey Clifton. He'll chip it in. And they're going to say it was behind the red line for an icing. That was one of those ones where I thought it was close enough where they let it go, but the linesman disagrees.
Well, Clifton, the problem was he was going for the red, but he got hit, and I thought there was enough contact there in the upper area, close to the head, definitely on the high end of the chest, where they might call a penalty, but they didn't, and instead Clifton had to get rid of it at that stage. That's an icing. And you got that timeout if you're, and they're going to take it. That's what I was going to say. With this, at this point, you might as well.
And Peter Belisle, he couldn't get the official's attention there. He called timeout about 5 or 6 times.
Well, I thought I wasn't even going to say anything because I thought automatically you take it. Then I saw him lining up, so I was going to be surprised if they were going to hold that in their pocket. But with 3 to go, you have to take it here. So rest everybody you've got on the ice. Not really a lot to draw up here, right? I think you're just reminding guys of what their assignments are on natural face-offs. If the Beavers try to throw something weird at you, that's fine. As you take a look at that hit by Krapinski there at center ice, that was the second of that shift. But I really don't think you have to draw up too much here. This timeout is not so much about strategy, just more about reminding players of their assignments and just getting them some air, right? Just allowing them to just breathe, get their endurance back. Making sure on this draw, and that's the crucial thing too, on a face-off in your own zone, just making sure we're not going to allow anything high grade. If they want to shoot it from the blue line, that's fine. If they want to shoot it from the walls, that's fine. But we're not going to allow them to have anything from the slot, or making sure if they have players in front, which I'm sure they will, we've got sticks in front, we're tying up, little things like that. These players have been hearing that, again, since Pee Wee year. Those are the types of things they've been hearing. So you're just re-emphasizing that. They should be well rested now. It's amazing what a timeout can do, especially this stage of the game when adrenaline's kicked in. And a huge face-off here. Beacons win it clean. That's massive. Nice job by Walker.
3 minutes to go. Beacons trying to move it out. We'll watch for the extra attacker as puck comes to center. Pat Keegan rifles that one in cross corner. That one chipped down low by Duncan. Beacons looking to establish a forecheck here to kill as much time as they can. Ty Matthews has it down low. Being worked on there as officials' arms will stay down. Could have been a stick foul, but they play on.
Tough to get a call at this stage.
As that one sent behind the net by, it was Ryan Rowland as it goes to the far side. Ty Matthews tied up. Somebody took a spill there. It was Colby Bailey. That one flipped into a pile of skates. Comes out loose. Andy Walker shot off the mask of Hildebrand. Kind of handcuffed him.
Looked like a knuckleball.
As we approach 2 minutes here in this final period. Pat Keegan able to wheel it up. Carabelli chips it out to center. This will not be icing, not enough juice on it. As Nolan Dion will look to move things up, as you got to think Hildebrand will head off here on this rush. Bringing it in is Kennedy, but he's stepped into by DeLuzio, and that one sent all the way down to the Babson blue line. And there he goes, the extra attacker on the ice for the Beavers. 1:35 to go. There's a big hit by Davis Browning in the corner. Beavers stay with it. Up top, Dion walks in a shot, blocked by Carabelli, and another penalty, and perhaps it is Babson. Nope, it's going to be a cross check, I believe, against the Beacons.
I can't believe this.
And I think it's Davis Browning.
I cannot believe they're making this call. I mean, you had two guys battling in the front of the net, and you're going to call one of them on a cross check? To me, that's just unacceptable at this stage of the game. You got 1:23 in this hockey game. You got two guys battling in front. Of course there's going to be slashing. You could call a ton of penalties, slashing, hooking, cross-checking, whatever. I mean, there's no way you could call that. That's just not understanding the stage of the game. In the first period, maybe. Second period, it would be bad. Third period, I just don't agree with that call at all. I think that puts a significant advantage on Babson here with two teams that have played well. Wow, very surprised.
So the only benefit the Beacons have is now they can shoot for the empty net with no consequence of icing, but Babson controls. Pat Keegan now goes to the far side. Kramer over to Dion. His shot goes just wide. 1:10 to go. So a two-man advantage with the goalie pulled. It's a 6-on-4. Coming out with it, Torres. Now up top, Kramer. Cross ice. Holland in the middle for Dion. Over to Kramer. His shot hits Randy Walker, and he whacks it all the way down back to the Babson end.
Got to get a change here. They're going to keep the D. Beacons keep the D, but change the forwards.
Final 45 to go. Kramer enters the zone. Down the near side. Keegan losing his stick. And that one goes back to center. Bankowskis, a chance to put it away. Coyle Bankowskis scores! And the Beacons will end it. Coyle Bankowskis, his second of the afternoon.
That's the one guy you want in this situation. The fastest guy on the ice in any game. And the puck, it was just a simple play, and it got right underneath the stick of Babson. Laying in the center of the ice. Bankowskis, if he was in the NFL, he would run a 4-2. Right down the ice. Take a look at the replay here, folks. This puck comes around the wall, and you're going to see it right under the blade there, and Bankowskis is gone. Nobody else in the frame. And I'll tell you what, if you miss that one, you got to hang up the skates. Me and you can score that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I would hope so. That's what we call a hustle play, and Coyle Bankowskis has done that all season. As 20 seconds to go, that one flipped back to center. Still power play opportunity time left for Babson, but it won't matter as the final 10 approaching. As that one sent in, tied up in front, chip back to center, all the way down the ice, no icing, and that will do it. UMass stays hot and gets probably their biggest win of the season over number 12 Babson.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'll tell you what, Andrew, I think we're witnessing a changing of the guard. This was a team with the effort that we've seen the second half of the season, particularly here tonight, was not at all what we saw in the first half. And I think you can erase anything that you saw in November and the early part of December, because that team is not the team we have here tonight. This was a great effort. This was a great weekend effort. These were two teams that gave their absolute best against this Beacons team, and they found ways to win. The goaltending performance was great. I think the defensive structure has been much improved, and offensively, they're finding ways to score, and that's all this team is going to be. If they are not going to be a team that's going to be able to win games 6-4, 7-5. This is a team exactly like what you saw this weekend, 3-2 against a hard Southern Maine team, and really 2-1. They got the empty net 3-1 against a Babson team that was nationally ranked. You got to be very excited as a Beacon fan to see what you're seeing right now, because the product, this is grade A material, and this is a team that can sneak up on a lot of teams in this conference.
Well, the sport of hockey works in mysterious ways, as the Beacons, who had struggles in a lot of different areas at the beginning of the season, have seemingly found their game as they salute the crowd here at Edward T. Berry Ice Rink. As you can see, a lot of alumni members in the crowd are pumped up for this victory over Babson. And look out for UMass, because they're red hot. Still a lot of hockey left to be played in this season, and who knows what could happen.
Yeah, again, I mean, you take a look at what they've done in the second half. I mean, this team, think about where this team would be. I would think they would be close to a national ranking if they win that game at Norwich. And that was a 1-0 loss in overtime. This team has really turned the corner. You got to like where they're at. I think they're more confident in themselves, and they have an identity now, right? They're a defensive team that has strong goaltending. Now you got, well, the way Bell's played, now you got 2 strong goaltenders. I mean, that was a tremendous, I know he didn't face a lot of rubber here tonight, but I thought that was a tremendous effort by the goaltender. So him and Best, you know you've got confidence in either one. Defensively, they were without Coleman. They still found a way to stay strong defensively, limit the opportunities that Babson had. Your top line in Clifton, Manzo, and Friedman is able to produce. You've got good support with your second line in Walker, Duncan, and Matthews, who had an assist tonight. And you got 2 goals from your fourth line center in Benkauskas. I mean, that's just tremendous. And I'm confident in this team. All of a sudden, it looks like they totally retooled themselves and found ways to beat teams that on paper they should probably be losing to.
So UMass with a gutsy win here against Babson, 3-1 the final. We'll be back to go over the scoring summary, game stats, and 3 stars of the game here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
With figuring out who I really am, their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Cheer for the stumbles. That he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university, for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
Oh, sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community, so each major has their.
And welcome back here inside Edward T. Berry Ice Rink. A thrilling win for the Beacons, 3-1 over Babson College. Andrew Bluestein, Matt Meisenbacher with you as we go over our final scoring summary. Jazz Kristoff opened the scoring, his 4th of the season from Jacob Banks. Coyle Bankowskis with 50 seconds to go in the second period on the assist from Ty Matthews, who generated the play. And then the empty net goal coming from, well, first of all, we have to go over the Babson goal, is my mistake. Thomas Kramer getting his 7th of the season, assist from Nolan Dion and Egan Schmidt. And then Coyle Bankowskis getting the empty netter, assisted by Jacob Banks. And that's where we ended as we take a look at the final stats for this one. As final shots, well, I don't think that's right.
That has to be attempts. That's attempts, I would think.
Well, shot attempts 47-72 in favor of Babson, but 27 saves for Darius Bell, who was spectacular all night long. And the Beacons, the story of this one, Mizey, and I'm sure you'll attest to it, is the face-offs. Beacons absolutely dominating in the face-off department, 33-16, and Babson with 7 power plays, just 1 for 7. Beacons 0 for 3, but those face-offs, key part of this win.
You could make a case that was the difference in the game, and especially there in the third period. Andy Walker with a clean win off the timeout and was able to clear off that, and not just one face-off, but I think there were multiple face-offs in the defensive and offensive zone where the Beacons were able to possess off of that and create one way or the other. Got to be happy with that. And I think the other thing, limiting the Babson 1 for 7 on the power play, especially with that late penalty call. Let's not forget, I think that really put the Beacons at a disadvantage, but yet they were able to overcome and walk out of here with a 3-1 win.
Well, let's take a look at our 3 stars of the game. Number 3 star, Darius Bell, spectacular, 27 saves. And I got to ask you, Mizey, because I didn't see him once be out of position at all tonight, and that's, you could tell, we talked about it, him having the Division I scouting, you could tell the talent was there. His second star, Coyle Bankowskis with 2 goals, and the number 1, Jacob Banks, with 2 assists. But once again, Darius Bell, spectacular.
Yeah, you have a goaltending battle now. I think he earned it here tonight. You look at the save percentage, 96. Anytime you got a goaltender posted a 96 and change, you got to find a way to get him back into the game. Like Coyle Banks at the second star, and Jacob Banks with a pretty heavy weekend. He's 2 assists tonight. I believe he had 2 or 3 points last night as well. He's slowly rising the ranks of this Beacons team, finding ways to contribute.
Let's take a look at our Beacons road ahead for the men's hockey team before we wrap things up here. As our upcoming schedule, 127, they'll be at Hobart. That's going to be a tough one. They're nationally ranked, as is Elmira. And that'll be on the 28th, back-to-back, 7 p.m. against Hobart, 4 p.m. against Elmira. February 3rd against Johnson & Wales, home game, 7 p.m. And then they'll be at Johnson & Wales at 4 p.m. on the 4th. And then on February 10th, they'll be back home here against Skidmore for a 7 p.m. All those are conference games, huge at this point of the season.
Tough road schedule. At Hobart, at Elmira. That's a true test of where this team is at, what they can do against 2 nationally ranked programs that have had strong efforts here so far in the season.
And let's thank our productions team and everybody. If I mispronounce somebody's name, I apologize in advance. Producer Michael Vesey, Directors, Georgia Bonney. Camera operators, as usual, Gene Albano, Mike Gorman. Graphics, Max Clifford, and Alina Albano, as always, on replay. I'm Andrew Bluestein for Matt Meisenbacher. Once again, your final score, the Beacons 3, Babson 1.